Thank you so much for coming down here. I know it's your lunchtime, so really good to see all of you here. I was actually invited here by Dr. Kirpal Singh, who is away. So I shall do my own self-introduction. My name is Amy J. Cheng, and I have been acting for the past 17 years on stage, on film, on television. I'm also creative director with a company that my husband founded, X-Ray Theatrics, Marcus right over there, R100. So for X-Ray Theatrics, we very much our core business is about bringing speech and drama to children with special needs and children and youth of all levels. But today, it's about me as an actor in Singapore. So, today's talk is basically about sharing my journey as an actor, the challenges I face as an actor, and the things I did to overcome these challenges or work through my demons. And also at present, what I'm currently doing is just some personal thoughts. I'll be very happy if you can ask me some questions, because it's kind of hard to talk about yourself for 1 hour. So feel free to jump in and just ask questions that you may have. This was my dream. I was always wanting to be an actor. Actually, at the age of 7, my mom brought me to watch my very first movie, Cinderella Disney at Cathay Cinema. I still remember that. It was magic. Of course, I wanted to be Cinderella too. And subsequently, when I saw all the beautiful actresses on film and everything, it just captured my imagination. The different kinds of characters I could play, because I love stories from a very, very young age. So that really fueled my dream to eventually bring this. See, at a young age, I started early. Sitting by the dressing table with all the lights. I love the lights. And, my mom put me on the stage, so I see as my testing whether I could be part of this, theater or just being on stage. Eventually, I did manage to get my foot into the industry, and I'll show you a video clip of my show reel. It's about 5 minutes of all the work I've done up to 2007. Yeah, so my journey thus far, and I think in the words of J.K. Simmons, he said this, and I'm quoting from him: "I've always felt that if you're in any kind of artistic or creative endeavor and feel that there's something else you could do for a living and be happy, I think you should do something else, because you're much more likely to find comfort and happiness." Do you know him? He is also JJ in Amazing Spider-Man, or Spider-Man, one of those trilogy. And I think this is so true. Deborah and Cheng, what do you think? That if you could do something else for a living that would make you happy, then do it. So why did I stick to it? Well, these were my own challenges. Let's talk about my own personal challenges. I started really, really late in my career. Really late meaning at the age of 28. The main reason for that is because I came from a Christian background, Asian background, and one thing you did not do was to become an actress. So I buried that desire, or that a passion, and I kept really quiet about it. Oh, I dabbled in a bit of, LDS, a bit of stage, but I was really, really shy, so. I didn't have any formal training because of this mindset that I absorbed. So I always felt that in a way I was, not as good as the other actresses who knew what they wanted from a really early start and went out for it and got the training and studied and and all the rest of it. But I was digging through my notes today. Someone wrote me this, and I think it's so true. Your dream doesn't follow the clock, it follows your heart. And I'm really glad that at the end of it, I became braver and I did pursue this. The other challenge is, of course, and less than ideal circumstances. So there's Gerald Chu over there. And we can literally shoot for 24 hours through the night. Sometimes because of, weather conditions and stuff, you are called to just shoot the next day when you've already had things planned. So friends who stick around with you, you keep them. There is only one TV station. And I'd just like to throw that out to you. What do you think this means, having only one TV station?
You're at MRC.
In a nutshell. Remember when MediaWorks, there was a time when there was another TV station, MediaWorks, and the roles just came in, there was work. A lot of good scripts came by too, but unfortunately did not, so we're back to one TV station. And of course, limited TV roles. I am a mother at Tornadoes. I was in 2013. I'm a mother in this docudrama Channel 5, 2012. I'm also a mother on the Red Dot Fast Forward 2014. So basically, I am the mother. Another challenging aspect was that this is a career with seasons. So you get a really good season where everybody wants to use you in their productions, and it's really great. And then you get a season when suddenly nobody wants you. You go for auditions, and they want a new face, or you're just not right for the role. And that's another thing, which is actually not on my slide, but a very hard thing to take, the rejection. At some point, it does eat away your own sense of self-worth. So yeah, that's one of the challenges that you need to constantly fight against. But going back to this unpredictability of the career, I liken it to the stock market. It's really volatile. You never know when your next project is coming in. So yeah. The reality of the entertainment industry is that there are no royalty fees, unlike I hear Hollywood actors or actors working in America. You act in a commercial, every time they add that commercial, you get 1 or 2% of that constantly. So, but it's not the case in Singapore. There's no minimum wage, no maximum working hours. You don't get CPF. That's my mother talking. I sent you through university when you decide to become an actor. No CPF, no blah blah blah. Okay. And the famous phrase an actor always hears when they get you for the job. We don't have budget, so dot. This is the reality. I'm a human being. I have children. We have a family. There's mortgage bills to pay. There's my, education for my children, all the rest of it. And I would say also it's really hard being in Singapore where, the 5 C's, especially true in my case in the 80s, growing up in the 80s and 90s, it's all the science of success. So when I say materialistic, I mean success is defined in the tangibles, what you actually own, what you actually have, and all the rest of it. So it's, and in Singapore too, I think it's really true because it's in such close proximity. Every day you see 10 Jaguars driving by. You see, bungalows just opposite your HDB flat. So it's kind of in your face that there's a difference. And it doesn't help also that most of my friends hold corporate jobs. And at a certain stage in life too, you tend to compare, did I make the right decision? So yeah, these were all my demons. Should I pursue another career? I suppose all that is tied to when you talk to the other actors, the fact that Singapore is very small, the market is very small. Hence, you can't have a union as an actor, you can't have certain things in place as an actor to protect your interests or arrive at a certain level in life. So I decided to pack my bags, not permanently, not my travel luggage, and decided to explore Hollywood just for a week, because I do have a young son and I didn't want to leave him for too long. But I wanted to go and really see out there for myself. Is it really as good as everyone says it is? What are my chances and opportunities there? So I did all the homework. I prepared my resume, my showreel. I looked up all the agencies, and this is the interval time. You want chocolates? I had to ask myself some really, really hard questions. My gut feel was no. I didn't want to be in Hollywood. Why? I think it's just the whole idea of starting over again in a really, really huge industry. You have no idea how big it is. And what kind of life would I have starting from scratch? I had my family here in Singapore, my little boy. That time I was just with Joshua. How would he cope if I brought him over to LA? Would I really want to start off as a waitress or work in a theme park? And LA just didn't feel like a safe neighborhood to bring up my son. So then a woman in the mirror moment, I remembered that I told myself when I start as an actress that at the end of this journey or the end of the path, it would make me a better person. It's a cliche, but it's true, that I would grow to become a better person. And I just didn't feel that Hollywood or the kind of culture they had would enable me to do that. So I decided to come back to Singapore, and it was all about changing my own mindset. And that did not happen in a day, by the way. It took me quite a long process. First up, I had to be really grateful for the opportunities that I did have in Singapore. I was getting lead roles. I did have my network here. I, didn't have to really start from scratch. And also to decide the kind of acting career I wanted. Earlier on, before all this began, Lim Yu Bing was one of my mentors. And he said, do you want to be a celebrity or do you want to be an actor? You have to decide. And coming back to this, I decided that the core of me was to be an actor. I really wanted to just be a really good actor. And I could do that anywhere. In Singapore, I don't need to be in Hollywood to do that. Limited roles? Well, if I'm given mother roles, then I'm going to be the goddamn best mother role that I can ever be. I inject different, do my own little backstory, inject my little, imbue my characters with different characteristics or different goals and dreams that they may have. No training, that was one of my grade too, and I decided to build my skills as an actor. I may not have the formal training or have the benefit of starting out young, but I could learn at my job and not beat up myself when I felt that it wasn't as good as I wish it could be. I attended classes, workshops. I went to NIDA for 3 weeks. 3 weeks because, again, I didn't want to be away from the family too long, but it was a good enough time for me to just be exposed to a different culture and learn what they know. I read a lot, not just about books on acting, but inspirational books about, going out there. You got to keep doing that, especially after being rejected from an audition, to keep your spirits up and just remember your sense of the value of who you are despite everything else. And just networking with people. I think I could improve more on that. Meeting up with more of my active friends, because when I do that, I find that I become energized. You know, that we're on the same boat, we share the same ideas, we go through the same hell, we share the same joy. So it's nice to be able to just vent and yeah. Okay, so the other gripe, poor financial compensation. Well, creating new sources of income from related work. So I host, I sing, I teach. And I set my own bottom line for fees and as well as the number of hours where possible that I would work. So what that actually means is if I want to take up a job and I feel that if I do it, I feel as though I'm being cheapened as an actress, I'm not given the kind of price that or the fee that I would like, the very bottom line, then I won't do it. That's where I stand now. And also in terms of hours in a day, sometimes it's really uncontrollable because of technical stuff. When we shoot, it may rain and then we have to postpone the shoot and stuff like that. But what I do is I try to set aside a day in the week that is a no-touch zone, and that's with my family. And also I think is starting to look at, still working through that, financial success. Where do you turn that? You have a comfortable home, you're able to pay your daily bills, or do you really need to stay in a bungalow? Those are the personal choices I have to make. So in a nutshell, I realized that I'm my own chairman, CEO, director of my company, and the product is me, or my image. Not really me, but my image, the image that I project. So, in stage, I did get a lot more diverse roles. I wasn't always playing the mother, but I got to play a really scheming, manipulative, single woman who's desperate to get married. This was SRT, and I did that last year. And of course, Footsteps in the Night, where I play a tough cookie investigator. That's where I met my husband too. Act 3 Theatrics. This was a really great experience because we actually worked with an international director, a Belgian director, and she really, really taught me a lot. Of course, I played a concubine in Forbidden City for 2 seasons and the Banana Tree Spirit in 10 Brothers. My first all-out Mandarin role. He's sweating buckets, but well worth the challenge. Yeah, and we talked about this. That's the other positive mindset I started to have, how acting opened up many other avenues for me. It gave me the ability to pose, to sing, and all this in turn improved my skills as an actress. And then at present now, of course, I'm doing 2025 on the Red Dot. I did get involved in co-production, so I satisfied my desire to be in Hollywood in a sense. And I think looking at the deeper reason for why I wanted to do that, I felt like maybe I wanted to be in a more professional environment where the craft was respected, where you're paid a better salary, where you are given your own room and things like that. So I did get to experience it in this co-production I did with Deja Vu and The Man from Beijing. This was actually quite a beautiful experience for me because I was one of the 2 Asian leads to be picked for this, and we shot it in Taipei. In actual fact, they wanted to use their own, in Taipei, they wanted to use their own talents from there because it makes sense, right? They don't need to fly somebody from Singapore to do this here. But I'm really glad the director fought for us to be in this production, and I learned so much from that. Susan von Borsity, she's a big star in Germany, and yeah, I got to really just learn a lot from them. So The Man from Beijing is based on a novel written by Henning Mankell. I think he did do a film called Go with the Dragon Tattoo. And no, that's not any. I was involved in that production. Yeah. So did any of you watch The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo? Because it's based on the writer. Yeah. And I did, of course, Domestic Goddess, Code of Law, All Balls and Kisses, directed by Reframing. My new passion, of course, is X3 Theatrics. I joined X3 Theatrics officially in 2012 as creative director, and just brings speech and drama to young children, children with special needs. I also work as an adjunct lecturer at Temasek Polytechnic. I guess at the end of it, I went back to LA end of last year. I realized my Oscars are right here in Singapore. Not to sound schmoozy and all that, cheesy and all that stuff, but truly my 3 Oscars are the 3 men in my life. And I have all the opportunities and growth that I want right here. So if Hollywood wants me, they can come a knocking at my door. Yeah, it's I think that the journey in my road now is this. I really do love acting. It's always been a part of me, and I don't think I can give that up. Not until the industry really puts in my face and says, you know, you're not needed here anymore. Then okay, I'll say goodbye. But I want to hang on to this acting because it's a craft of mine that I really enjoy, and educating as well, sharing my experiences with the next generation. A bit of marketing here. Wartime Singapore is coming on. It's going to be shown on 29th of March, Cheng News Asia, at 8 o'clock. So catch it if you can. And yeah, what's your dream? Just to end up, I'd like to use this poem, which is one of my husband's favorite, and hear it again and again. But now reading through it, I find that it really holds a lot of resonance for me. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. 2 roads diverged in the yellow wood. Sorry, I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, just as fair, and having pats the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that passing there, had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. That has made all the difference. So, with that, I'd like to end my little talk. If you have any questions.